I like to cut you jib.
Howdy, Nukenites. This is SKTelecom T1 versus CJ Entus, Fantasy versus Leta on Ground Zero. Nuke the Stars commentating. WNUK rocking your drive to work. Dun, 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 dun. Except down here at the 5 o'clock position and yellow, representing the Terran race, will be Fantasy. Le Fantasy. Wee. Up at the 2 o'clock position, and red is Leta. Okay, actually wrote down some stats today, being on a sugar rush today and feeling a lot better after recovering from my cold. I thought, why the hell not? I'll do a little bit of research for once on a non-OSL game. I do a lot of research on OSL, not so much on the Pro League. But okay, fantasy stats are so good this season, almost Flash-esque. Of course, he'd have to be in full God mode to be Flash-esque, but we'll give him a pass on this one because he only has 1 loss so far this season and 9 wins. Spectacular record. For fantasy, he's been fielded a lot and he's won a lot of games. So fantasy living up to his stellar performance that he's had for the past couple of years or so. He's been playing consistently well for a long period of time, which is pretty rare these days. It's kind of strange to think of a player playing consistently well for a long time on the scene, because players just don't last that long these days. Anyway, let's look at Leta's record. A little bit worse, but still a pretty good record. 5 wins, 3 losses. So he does have a winning record this season, but on this map, as far as TVT experience goes, oh god, Bunky. Why is she rubbing Bunky's head? Stop that. It's inappropriate, but anyway. Yes, Leta's TVT experience on this map, Outsider, is a loss to Baby. Not Outsider. What, did I say Outsider? What the hell? Ground Zero. I guess it's the same tile set. Threw me off. I wish Outsider was still back. That was a fantastic map. If a bit Zerg favor, but anyway. Yes, Leta has lost on this map in TVT before, so he has a lot more to prove here, especially against Fantasy, man. It's freaking Fantasy, man. The observers are pointing out that Fantasy is not putting down his refinery. Instead, he is going to do a little expo. Going over to his natural expansion, he's throwing down the command center there. I see that on the minimap, even though the observers were not looking at it. Leta has been mining on his refinery for quite a long time here, I think, just to jumpstart that factory, which I think was being built there. The observers are skipping over everything today, though, but pretty sure that is the fact. As the Fantasy's SCV running around inside of Leta's main. Oh man, talk about getting caught on camera noshing on a burger or a sandwich there. Yikes. That would be one of my biggest fears, I think, going on a television set like that. That'd be caught eating a giant sundae like George on Seinfeld. No. Anyway. But the SCV is in for Leta. He's kind of hopping around here seeing the... Oh my god. Bunky. Oh, he's murdering the burger guy. And now he's molesting him. Great. Bunky. But okay. The bunker coming up at the front for Fantasy, making sure he's completely safe against any kind of craziness. Because, you know, since he's putting down this base so quickly, he needs some definite defenses. Because the thing that Leta's going to have to do is apply a lot of pressure soon and make sure that Fantasy's economy does not build up to a point where Leta just won't be able to catch up to him. Because Leta hasn't put down his second base yet. He's putting down his second factory. And he's starting what will probably be either Vulture Speed or Vulture Mines. To be extra super annoying. It's a pretty good wall here from Fantasy if it is Vulture Speed and trying to trick past with those vultures inside of the main like that. Don't think it would be quite successful with the nice positioning there that Fantasy had of his barracks right next to the bunker, but we'll find out soon. Leta moving out. Another machine shop on the other factory, still mining. No, he only has 2 SCVs on the gas, so he might think about jump-starting his second base soon as well. Terran Academy at the front to put another notch in that wall, sort of wall, to keep the vultures out of his base. Putting the Academy there. Anyway, wow. Harang and Sky High sharing a moment there. Some interesting panning of the camera today. Anyway, both machine shop going now, meaning super extra awesome upgrades. Vulture speed is already done. See the vultures skirting by. And I have a feeling that Leta's going to try to get a vulture run by soon. It might be a bit difficult. There we go. Vulture's running back behind this natural expansion. Not a whole lot of defense here for Fantasy since he just now put down his factory. And yeah, there is that barracks there to get the sight. And that was kind of brilliant, actually, from Leta to get the sight on the high ground. So he's still picking at these SCVs, getting a lot of SCV kills. Oh man, Fantasy losing his economic advantage now just because of how many SCVs have gone down. And the mines being laid right outside of the factory. The tank! Oh, the tank goes down. Yikes. So Leta might have just won this game right here. Wow. Sneaking in with the vultures as well. Oh, Fantasy's build is falling apart. He was not prepared for this at all, it seems. Even more mines. And Fantasy, I think he just scanned there and destroyed those mines with his Marines and his SCVs. But that's all he has right now as far as defense goes against these mines and everything. He just wasted a scan on that one patch of mines. So any additional mines here are going to take even longer, but Fantasy getting even closer to another mine, to this second tank. But yeah, Fantasy has taken so many casualties that, yeah, Leta, if he just plays it safe from this point, which he is, he's putting down his own second base, jumpstarting his own economy, but he's gotten so many SCV kills and the tank kill. That's just going to put Fantasy so far behind. See some Wraiths coming out now for Leta. He's going to come in with Wraiths and a dropship out for Fantasy. So Fantasy is going to try to do a little bit of dropship play to get back in this game, do some economic harassment of his own. He's picking up Marines. This will be wacky. And this dropship might actually be intercepted by this Wraith. Oh my god, the Wraith coming down. And I think the Fantasy, either he scanned or he just had his Star Sense kick in. Knew that he needed these troops back home for the defense. But yeah, that freaking dropship would have been picked off pretty easily. Even more SCVs going down the Wraith, trying to pick off the dropship. I think Leta should try not to be too cavalier. He got his Wraith down to red. He doesn't want to lose it. So he's backing off for the time being. Probably going to repair that back at his home base. And there's Fantasy repairing his poor dropship. Hasn't been able to do a whole lot with that dropship yet. And yeah, now Fantasy is way far behind. He just lost way too many SCVs. And look at the strong economy that's jump-starting for Leta. Repairing his Wraith, his natural expansion. Laying some mines at the prospective third base, just to make sure Fantasy can't pull that little trick. Expand again quickly, try to get back in the game, economically speaking. But the observers are pointing out the lack of SCVs at Fantasy's natural expansion. Pretty scary. And wow, now Leta's pumping something from his barracks inside of Fantasy's main. I think this is just BM at this point. He's saying, Fantasy should have GG'd by now. I'm just going to embarrass you by pumping a fire bat inside the main, picking off SCVs. Of course, there's no medic here, so this fire bat will probably eventually go down pretty quickly. Yes, not before taking out some SCVs, though. It was about 3 or 4 SCV kills from that one single fire bat. Eek, eek. And now another fire bat coming out for Leta. He's put another fire bat inside that main, and he's coming in with all of his troops at the front. Siege tanks, which I don't even think that Fantasy has yet. Now he might be working on that from his machine shop, but now the Wraith's coming in, sniping everything. There's the GG from Fantasy. Yikes. Leta kind of took him to school there with that super aggressive play. Nice vulture run by Strat. That Fantasy was not quite prepared for. But Leta does have some slick TVT every now and again. I mean, he took out Flash last season, which was a big surprise to everyone involved. But this has been Nuke. Let's move on to the second set.